Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. So this video is about the new moon in Virgo that is happening on August 27th. At 4:17 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this video is about 5 things that stood out to me that I wanted to share with you when it comes to this new moon in Virgo. And the first thing that I wanted to talk to you about when it comes to this new moon in Virgo is the numerology. So the new moon in Virgo is happening on the 27th, and the overall energy of the day adds up and reduces to the number 5 vibration. And, you know, when it comes to, say, the month of August, like when you think of the month of August, like, you know, basically the new moon is happening near the end of the month. And when you think about this month has been a bit of a whirlwind for a lot of us, for the simple fact that the month is the 8th and the year is the 6th, and 6 plus 8 adds up and reduces to number 5 vibration, just like the day of the new moon and all the numbers within that day adding up and reducing to the number 5 vibration. And with the number 5 vibration, this month has been a very stimulating one where a lot of us could have found ourselves making purchases or making plans or decisions, you know, that wasted unnecessary time and money. And that's because the financial aspect, you know, of the month deals with the number 8. And that's, August is the 8th month. And then the number 5, the need for constant stimulation. So moments when we find ourselves having to sit still, this is where we find ourselves doing something for the sake of doing something. And then, like, you know, basically wasting time, energy, and resources doing so. When it came to the newsletter, like I shared all of that in the monthly newsletter. Like there's a link to subscribe to the website. The newsletters come out once a month. I don't send you anything else, just a newsletter to give you that energy update for the month. And like I found myself like making certain decisions and I'm like, what the hell? Like, this is exactly what you wrote about not to do in the newsletter and you're doing it. You know what I mean? So when it comes to this month, the energies move so fast where it's like, it was so easy to like, you know, jump into something and it's like, wait a minute, like, do I really have time for this? You know, that was something that I found myself continuing to ask myself. But the day of the new moon is the 27th, and the number 27, the number 2 is a nurturing, unifying energy. The number 7 is an introspective energy. And together, you know, this is where we, you know, the number 27 adds up and reduces to the number 9. So this is where, you know, this brings out the part of us where we want to unify, we want to connect. And we also want to dive deep, ask questions, be a bit like introverted because the number 7 is introverted. But then the 9 aspect of the 27, 2 plus 7 is 9, is an energy where, you know, focus on humanity like Virgo energy, a humanitarian energy like Virgo energy. The number 27 reminds me of Virgo energy big time because the number 2 likes to serve and help like Virgo energy. The number 7 is deep and curious, you know, and like Virgo energy, very analytical, except for the number 7 could be a bit rebellious because the number 7 is seeking answers because it wants to understand things for itself on a personal level. Unlike Virgo, who is analyzing and wanting to make sense and diving deep, seeking truth. But Virgo energy is not rebellious. The number 7 energy is. And when it comes to the day on this full moon, the new moon. The new moon is at 4 degrees. So the number 4 is what's present for the new moon. And the number 4 is so much like Virgo energy for me also, because the number 4 energy is a structured energy and a committed energy and an energy that deals with building. And for me, like when I was in the salon industry, like I always found that like, if ever, and this is no offense to any other number or sign or whatever, but if ever you want to hire and work with someone who is going to be efficient and get the job done, rock with a Virgo or a number 4 person. And what I like about these two energy, it's like their hard work and them showing up and delivering and being efficient. They're not doing it, basically they're doing it for themselves because it makes them feel good to show up and do whatever it is that they do. So that's what came to mind when it comes to the number 4 energy and Virgo energy. Both energy are building energy, focused when it comes to building things. So the second thing that I wanted to talk to you about when it comes to this new moon energy is basically, what the new moon in Virgo is all about. So when you think of Virgo energy, think of service. Virgo and Pisces are on the same plane but opposite ends of the same plane. Where to me, Pisces energy is where we serve on a healing, unconscious level, and Virgo is where we serve on a practical energy, in a practical way. So the new moon in Virgo is going to bring some kind of new beginning, but in order for us to have a new beginning, some kind of ending needs to happen at the same time. And it's like I always tell myself, it's like, never fear letting go, because the ending is the beginning. The ending of one thing is the beginning of something else. And in order for one thing to start, something else has to end. So the new moon in Virgo for a lot of people might be a new beginning, a new realization to a diet. A lot of people might realize, okay, I want to join the gym. I want to start this new eating regimen. I want to start working out. I want to focus more on my health. Virgo energy deals with health. Virgo energy deals with time management. It deals with diet, and it deals with service, and it deals with how we serve and heal on a practical, tangible level. So say Pisces energy, like I mentioned, dealing with the subconscious mind, the healing, therapy, dealing with subconscious, unconscious, mental challenges, where Virgo energy is dealing with that wound, mixing the medicine and different things like that. So when it comes to this new moon, to me, this is where we come to the realization of, okay, I could maximize my time by eating better. Basically, if I eat better, I have more discipline and more energy to give to the things in my life, and I'm able to just basically accomplish so much more, and wherever Virgo energy is for you personally, you'll see basically how that energy is playing out. Like when it comes to the Patreon community, every month I share a video on the new moon or the full moon and how to utilize these energies. So, depending on where Virgo energy is in your life, this is where this energy is amplifying, and you're setting new goals or have gained new perspective and, basically showing up different. Because like I said, Virgo energy deals with like diet, our digestion, our gut. And when that is in order, everything in our life is in order. The third thing that I wanted to talk to you about when it comes to this new moon in Virgo is communication during the new moon. So Virgo is ruled by the planet Mercury, and Mercury deals with communication. Mercury deals with our mind. Mercury deals with our attention. And wherever our attention goes, basically that energy is reflected in our lives. And Virgo, the new moon is in Virgo, and Mercury is in Libra at the time. So to me, the challenge when it comes to say like the new moon in Virgo, Mercury in Leo and Libra at the time, to me is like the moon is in a place where it wants to help and it wants to give back and focusing on helping and being of service of others. And then, with Mercury and Libra, to me, Libra and Virgo energy, both energies that I find, could struggle sometimes when it comes to struggle with, say, people pleasing, because Libra energy is relationship energy, how we relate to others. And it's basically our relationships and our ability to relate to others can determine on our survival sometimes. It's not what do you know, it's like who do you know when it comes to like Libra energy. And Libra energy or Virgo energy don't like to rock the boat when it comes to like relationships and connections and people. Like both energies want to be like, hence the number 27 adding up and reducing to the number 9, and the number 9 energy is one that doesn't like to rock the boat. But like when it comes to say in Mercury communication, Mercury is being, at the time of the new moon, Mercury is being opposed by Jupiter in Aries, and Jupiter is in retrograde, and the Jupiter retrograde is bringing back opportunities for us when it comes to us being brave enough to take action. But taking action, in what area of your life will determine on where Aries is, basically what house Aries is in for you. Jupiter energy is amplifying that, but Jupiter is being opposed by Mercury. And to me, in Aries energy is like we're focused on ourselves and we're brave enough to act. Aries is the soldier, you know what I mean? Even if you're scared, like that's where courage comes in, you act anyways. But Mercury is in Libra, and Libra to me is balance, it's diplomacy. It's like, how can I say this in a way that like, everybody gets their way? And sometimes like you gotta pick a side. There's sometimes when you just have to pick a side, you know what I mean? And when I say pick a side, it's like, what is it that you believe in and what is important to you? And you just have to lead on that, because sometimes the whole back and forth straddling the fence vibe, that could create more confusion than anything. But when it comes to the Mercury aspect, Mercury is being a part of a grand trine, and that is between Mercury in Libra, Pluto in Capricorn, and Mars in Gemini. So when it comes to communication is definitely working when it comes to like our motivation for friendship connections and our motivation when it comes to legacy and our place in the world. So to me, this is where we get around each other and we're able to network and communicate and connect in a way that basically helps us to get to wherever it is that we're trying to go. So when it comes to communication definitely works when we're focusing, like say on the social aspects of life, like our social callings and basically being sociably acceptable and what we're aspiring to and what others think, and that aspect of life, like communication is definitely like positive when it comes to that. The fourth thing that I wanted to talk to you about is challenges associated with this new moon. So the challenges associated with this new moon to me is the communication also. So I just spoke about the positive things about the communication. When it comes to the challenging things about the communication, when it comes to this new moon, is the simple fact that, like I mentioned, this is where instead of coming straight out and telling someone, like this can't work, like we can't work, this is where we're trying to say nice things and hoping that they'll get it, but they won't get it. And it keeps creating a misunderstanding where it's like you're trying to let them know what time it is, but they're thinking that like you're being shy, or they're thinking whatever it is that they're thinking. But then they're also starting to resent you because it's like you're showing up and you keep being nice and you keep saying these nice things because Mercury is in Libra, communicating in a way that's pleasant, but at the same time it's confusing, you know what I mean? So when it comes to this new moon, like it's important for us to communicate in a way that's efficient and in a way that's clear. And to me, it's better for us to be uncomfortable in the moment of asserting whatever it is that we need to assert than to be resentful long term because we're trying to people please, we're trying to like. So in result, not having proper boundaries, you know what I mean? And then like disliking people in the long term because we feel like they're taking advantage when we were trying to be too nice, we were trying to be liked, so we weren't coming out and saying whatever it is that we needed to say. And this could be with anyone, this could be with a partner, this could be with colleagues, this could be with coworkers, and mainly when it comes to say work setting, because Virgo energy dealing with the 6th house energy deals with our work life, but I feel like it could also deal with our everyday life and how we approach things. So when it comes to how you approach things, when it comes to your communication, what needs to be better when it comes to your communication and how you approach things? Because I feel like when it comes to misunderstanding, often it comes down to our communication and what wasn't said, or what someone assumed we said, or what someone assumed we meant based on what they heard. Another challenging thing happening when it comes to this new moon is the new moon is squaring Mars in Gemini. So with the new moon squaring Mars in Gemini, so the new moon in Virgo, Virgo energy wants to serve. The mind is in a place where it's analytical, it's deep, and it's focused on being of service, where Mars is in a place where it's focused on curiosity, it's focused on exploring, it's focused on, like not taking anything too serious, where it's like the new moon is in a place where it's like, it wants to take things a little bit way too serious. And Mars, so it's like our motivation in our inner world is, basically at conflict to a certain extent, because our inner world wants to help and save, but our motivation just wants to have a good time. So to me, this is where we have to like create a balance when it comes to, how to make the most of like basically how to allow our inner world to be, because our inner world is what our inner world is. And to me, it's just like having clear understanding of what our inner world is asking, because that's how we nurture ourselves. And then our motivation is like, why am I motivated by what I'm motivated by? So with Mars and Gemini, motivated by, say, social media, motivated by quick communication, motivated by gossip, motivated by just an experience and wanting nothing more but an experience. But then the moon is in a place where it's like, it wants to help, it wants to be responsible, and it wants to take things serious. So the challenge comes in, because it's like, one is beating themselves up to do something or be something that, doesn't tie into what motivates them. So pay attention to, what your motivations are, and then what your inner conversations is pushing you to do. Because when it comes to, say, your motivations and your communication, your motivation and your communication will be will be in accordance with each other, but your inner world won't match that. So to me, it's like the motivation and the communication is speaking on things in a way to where it's like, socially everybody is getting along, everything is working, but the inner world wants to like, the inner world wants things to be more like organized, orderly, so to me, it's like a back and forth between, it's like, do I focus and, change my eating habits so I could change my life? Or do I go to this party and get together with my coworkers because like, I might need them to sign off on something? It's like, that's the kind of vibe that I'm getting, when it comes to like the challenging aspect of this new moon. It's the challenge of being liked, the challenge of pleasing others. And, to me, this could like, it could be your family members, your coworkers, your boss, whoever. And, it comes down to like creating a healthy balance and finding peace, being motivated by the part of ourselves that is curious and just wants to have experience, but at the same time help because we want to help and it makes us feel good, and not help because we want to be liked. And the fifth thing that I want to talk to you about when it comes to this new moon in Virgo, and basically the fifth thing that I wanted to talk to you about when it comes to this new moon in Virgo is just, the importance of like being uncomfortable, like the importance of being okay when it comes to being uncomfortable, when it comes to like, asserting yourself and your boundaries, and know that everyone won't like you, and that's okay. As long as you like you, that's all that matters. As long as you like you, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter if everybody likes you, as long as you like you. That's something, the fifth thing that I wanted to talk to you about when it comes to this energy. Because like with the day adding up to the number 5 and creating sudden and unexpected changes, to me, these sudden and unexpected changes, or the need for constant stimulation, can cause us to like, say yes when we really should have said no. You know what I mean? So it's like in the moment, if you're caught off guard, when it comes to something, say, you know what, let me get back to you on that. Make a habit to saying, let me get back to you, until you could say no. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the times, like, we can find ourselves just looking so unreliable, you know, like that's something for me that basically that I've been working on over the years and that I've struggled with, where it's like someone will invite me to something and in the moment, like, you know, I'll get lost in the moment and I'll say yes, because in the moment I'll really feel like, you know, I'll be able to make myself go. And then as time goes by and reality sets in, it's like, okay, do I really want to go to this event? Like, everybody is going to be there, like, doing this or that, and that's not what I'm into. And, you know, based on past experiences, every time when I would go to events and things like this, I'll end up looking like I'm judging because, like, you know, I'm not participating in this thing and everybody else is participating in it. And it's like, why did I show up knowing that this is what this is about? You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, like, it's okay to just say no, you know, or it's okay to say, like, let me think about that and get back to you on it. And, you know, I've learned to, like, say, let me think about that and get back to you on it, or just like, yeah, or just no, you know? So to me, the fifth thing that, you know, it's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to be uncomfortable, opposed to, like, you know, going along with something and then in the long term, like, you feel cheated, you feel robbed, you feel like it's so unfair, you know, because like with the Virgo energy and the new moon energy, like, if ever you find yourself saying, you know, it's unfair, why am I the only one? You know, something that I've been saying is like, who asked you? Like, you know, did you take on all this burden? Did you take on all this responsibility and then assume everybody should feel the same way? That's not fair to everyone else, you know, especially if it was, you know, your choice to make this, to take on all this responsibility. But yeah, when it comes to this new moon in Virgo on August 27th, like, I feel like for a lot of us, this is the jump start that we've really been needing when it comes to, say, maybe focusing on digestion, you know, focusing on immune health, you know, focusing on better time management, and realizing that these are the foods that causes me to be drowsy, cause me to be, you know, overstimulated and anxious, that causes me to not be able to show up and do my best and give my best. So, you know, I'm eliminating these things out of my life. And from this elimination, I have so much more energy. I have so much more time on my hands. I'm able to get so much more done. I'm able to approach life in a way where I'm enthusiastic and energetic, and I have a clear mind. You know, those are some of the great things that can come from this new moon in Virgo that's happening on August 27th, 2022 at 4:17 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It was such a pleasure sharing this video with you. If you'd like to get your natal chart read or learn more about the Patreon community, that link is in the description box below. Please let me know that you're here with me by dropping me a yellow heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.